today everything's really pushed by pop music. So how are classical musicians adapting to that?
Oh, okay.
How are we adapting to, film writers and those that score the soundtracks to those films?
Right.
Now they're using a lot of MIDI instruments.
Right.
So
right.
how are we adapting to these changes that are taking place, in the music industry?
All right. And so was it attended by students in the
students, professionals from all over the country? People were flying in from all over the world. It was really amazing.
And did you have something you had to prepare, or was it a question?
It was pretty much just to
answer?
share my story. That's what I like so much about it.
Oh, that's good. Well, that
I don't
makes
have
it
to
easy.
prepare
Right
too
in that
much.
memory bank,
Exactly.
and you say, "Oh, okay, I know that." No,
Right.
that's great.
Exactly.
That's great. So you had the tour, over 50 appearances,
Yes.
and then you're nominated for Boston Music Awards. So
Yes.
take me through that.
Oh my goodness. I clearly remember this. I was sick. I had caught a terrible cold, and we had to cancel performances.
Okay.
And it was really tough. As a classical cellist, I never had to worry about that. But now that I sing, I incorporate a lot of vocals in my songs. Now I have to learn to take care of my voice. So I was out for a week, and then towards the end of that week, my manager calls me and she says, "You won't believe this." And I was like, "What?" And she says, "You've been nominated for the Inspirational Artist of the Year for the Boston Music Awards." And I was blown away. So that kind of helped me to kind of heal a little bit. Yeah, I felt a lot better after that. So there was this whole campaign that we really started pushing to get votes from
And they
the
have
public.
like many different categories, right?
Yes.
Leading up to, and the voting was like what, for 6 weeks or something?
Something like that,
And
yes.
then, so you were in a certain category, but then they had many others.
Jazz
you know,
and pop,
all
and
that.
there's many genres.
So did you meet your other nominees that were in the category?
I did not
Okay.
get a chance to meet them. There were so many people. It was at the Liberty Hotel in Boston.
nice.
So all those floors, it was hard to kind of connect with
So
everyone.
now you're there at the awards, and is it like the Academy Awards? You're sitting there, they're going to read your name.
Yes,
Is it like a presentation like that?
There's a level of that. But I think I was more blown away with the amount of support that really came in. And I had my whole band. They were there. Most of my band was there to support my managers, a few friends.
Right, and you're excited. And
yes, and they
And it's true. I do think it's an honor to be nominated. It's a
Yes.
true statement.
Absolutely.
It is.
Absolutely.
You know, because then you see people rallying behind you and
Exactly.
that sort of thing. But let's be honest, it's nice to win.
It's nice to
Right.
Right.
Yeah, how was it when they called your name?
Oh my goodness. I just felt like my legs were going weak right before they announced my name, because I didn't think I was going to win, to be honest. A lot of the artists have been out longer than I have been, and they had many more fans than I've had, or I have. But I think the Academy really took note of how my team and I have really been pushing in 2013, performing over 50 shows.
Yeah, and what do you attribute to that? Is it the work ethic? Is it finding tell me about what you guys are doing.
Right, I think it's the part of it is the work ethic. We try not to we tend to take more performances than not. So when we get an offer, we try to really get out there and offer up the gifts that I've been given. Spiritually, I have to attribute most of it to God, just His favor on my life. Because there's a ton of talented musicians out there, but it seems like things have really been working out for me.
And I think, and this is what I encourage in my show always, is, finding and telling my audience members, finding that passion, and things do fall into place. Like hearing how you're ready to commit yourself to music, and then money shows up for you to do it. I mean, that's amazing.
Absolutely.
And I think that's when your own energy and what your intention is, it gets matched up, and it's almost easy, right? Do you find it's easy, or do you find you're one of these, well, it doesn't seem like you're one of these artists that it's hard for you, because some people say, oh, you have to really pay your dues, but I sometimes don't feel like it has to be that way.
It doesn't have to be. There definitely has been struggles. It's a huge sacrifice doing music full time. A lot of gigs you accept are free gigs. You don't get paid for them. You make that sacrifice just to get your name out there or to touch more lives. So that was a huge sacrifice for me in 2013. We're hoping to make it more of a lucrative year this year. But as far as like like hardcore struggles, there hasn't been too many. Things have really, they flowed for us. Yes.
Eased in for you.
Absolutely.
And so what is next for you? Is it a new album? You're going to still promote this one?
Yes, we're still promoting this one. I'm kind of working on a few new songs for the next album.
Oh, okay. So are you constantly writing?
Constantly writing, constantly trying to pull from things, different performances that I go to, that gives me new ideas. But I'm also waiting to hear back from, I was nominated for another award.
Okay, let's talk about this one.
Yeah.
Oh, and I want to mention before that, is tell us about your performance at First Night.
Oh, yes.
Because that seems like that would be a fun event.
Yes, that was amazing. I went home to North Carolina for a week. I had to cut that trip short because I found out they were going to allow me to perform. So my manager called me and she said she won't believe this, but the Boston Globe has recommended your performance for people to come out and hear you. So we got there. I did my rehearsing with my band, and by the time that the performance was to start, we had a full house. There were so many people. And
everybody had the first night. What's the first night? What time was your concert? Was it before midnight?
It was before. It was around 9 or 10, if I'm not mistaken.
But people are out, and everybody.
Absolutely,
yeah.
There were so many people. There weren't enough seats for everyone that came to hear the performance. It was so encouraging to see everyone.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
that is so nice,
yes.
And that's such a big night for Boston. And you were a part of the healing. I'm going to go back now to the marathon bombings
yes.
and where you played an important role in the healing. And I think it's important for our audience to hear about that.
Right. It was one of the Kendall light services in Cambridge, and they were just kind of gathering the community together to kind of help in the healing process. So myself and another pianist from my church, we composed a song to kind of help in the healing process and performed it that night, and it seemed to have really offered levels of comfort to those that came out that evening. So
yes, that's great.
Happy
that's great. Yeah, you've had a great year.
Really,
yes. From that to this appearance, your appearance here at All Friends, then moving through the city and just getting your name out there. So now let's go to your next nomination, which is the Fab Awards.
Yeah, the Boston Fab Awards.
The Boston Fab Awards.
I've been nominated as the local artist of the year.
Oh, that's great.
So people have been voting, and I think the results will be announced in February. So.
Yes, I think voting closed last week or
something
in January. And then what's neat about it is it's city-based. So there's DC, there's New York, and then there's Boston. And so you're getting your name out there.
Trying my best
great.
to. Yes.
Great, that's great. So now on the All Friends Cabaret, I do encourage my guests to, my guests who are watching out there to follow their path, follow their dreaming. You've given some awesome examples of what's right for you creatively. How would you encourage someone to, follow their passion, kind of pick up the paintbrush if they're interested, or how would you encourage them?
I say, whatever it is, one of those things my teacher used to tell me whenever I was trying to decide if I was going to pursue a career in computer engineering or music. She said, go home, and if in your meditating, if you find that you cannot live without music, then do music. And it's one of those things like if I knew that I could not live without that cello, then it was a clear sign to me that's where my heart really was. So I would say, find out where that piece is pointing to, and once you find that, just run with it. Give it your all, and keep positive people in your circle. A support group is huge. A good support group. I think it's really helped me during the tough times in this journey. You have people there pushing you on, telling you don't give up. Those that are always there to inspire. So a good support group, and just give it your all.
And probably people you can laugh with, because I'm sure you've had some funny moments
Absolutely,
on the road,
yes.
right? Where's my cello? No, just kidding. I hope not. I hope not. So what I'm going to do now is have the crew put up that email that states for you to reach out to me to come on and share your story. If you're fundraising for that special event or that special cause that's close to your heart, if you have a talent that you want to come on and share here in the All Friends Cabaret, I encourage you to get in touch with me. We're on Twitter and Facebook. I'm getting a clue on that. It takes me a while, but I'm pretty savvy with that. So we are on Facebook and Twitter, and then you have a Facebook page.
Yeah,
is that
Facebook,
right?
Yes, Facebook fan page. You can find me at Ramseur Kendall.
Okay.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kendall Ramseur.
All right. All right. So great thing. The year is young.
It is.
Let's see where Kendall is off to next. And I know it's great things.
Thanks
Kendall,
so much.
thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so
much. I really appreciate you being here.
My pleasure.
And it was great. And we'll see you next time right here on the All Friends Cabaret.